Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Uncle Kev. Um, Part of my appearance kind of look a little rough, but that's getting taken care of tomorrow. Any Hoosers, I just wanted to share something with you guys. I was actually going to write about it, um, but I figured um, it'll probably be more beneficial to do a vlog, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm headed to get some food for dinner right tonight, and I go the usual route I take to go to this restaurant, and I see a homeless man in the middle of the street, and I read a sign, and it says "hungry," um, "hungry, please give food" or something like that. Um, it was the first time I've seen a homeless person sign that didn't ask for money. I mean, that still didn't make a difference to me. It's cold outside. So I rolled my window down and I asked if he was hungry, if he wanted food, that I was on my way to get dinner and I would grab him something too. He was like, yes, sir, please. So I was like, okay, stay here and I'll be back. Um, I went to get food and I probably got him. I went to a buffet to take to go food or whatever. And I probably got him more than what I got myself, but um, pay for the food, get back in my car, and I'm headed back in that direction. And at this point, I'm praying. I'm like, please let this man be there because if he's not there anymore, and nobody else is going to eat this food, I'm gonna be mad. I paid this money for food and ain't nobody. But yeah, whatever. So I get there and he's there. So I park my car and I take it to him. Um, Gave him a food, something to drink, and he walks back to where he was. It was like a field. It had picnic tables there, and he sat there. I got back in my car and I just looked at him, and he began to eat. So I rolled my window down and I was like, "Do you mind if I eat with you?" He was like, "Sure, please." So I went back out and I ate with him. And when I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to him, and he shares his name. His name is uh, what's his name? Jeremy. I'm sorry. James. There you go. I'm horrible. His name is James. And I asked his name and he shared it with me. And I told him my name. I told him what I do for a living. Um, and I asked, I said, if you don't mind, and I hope I'm not being too personal, um, how long have you been homeless? And he shared that he'd been homeless for about 6 months. Um, and that it was so unfortunate that he was in that situation. And I'm just hearing him talking, I'm listening to him, and he's eating, and I'm just looking at him, and in my mind, I'm like, wow, like this is his life for real. Perfect stranger, but I really loved sitting and talking to him. Um, I noticed him shivering and stuff, and um, I asked him about, how long, not only how long have he been homeless, but how had that experience been for him. And he just started talking about his faith in God. Started talking about how being homeless didn't necessarily mean for him that everything was um, bad, but he felt like life was over. He felt like he had hit rock bottom and that like nothing would ever come. So I just, began to try my best to speak some life into him. Um, and he shared that the only thing that he had was what he was wearing. I asked him what part of the city um, was he from. He said he's originally from Lynchburg, Virginia. Um, that he been, since he been homeless, he been in Southwest Philly. I don't know how he got from Lynchburg to Philly, but nevertheless, since he's been homeless, he's been back and forth in different areas in Southwest Philly, the same part I live in. So, and he shared that what he had on was the only thing that he had. Um, and I asked him what size clothes he wear, and how ironic is it that he wears the same size as me? So, I had tons of clothes. In my mind, I'm thinking I got tons of clothes at home that I'm waiting to donate. Um, Perfect opportunity to give it to somebody. So I asked, I said, well, if I went home, because I don't live far from where you are right now, from this place where we both sat, I didn't live far from there. And I asked, if I go home and get the clothes, would you still be here to receive them? And he was like, yes, please, Kevin, please. So I came home, packed a bag of clothes, some things that I was giving away anyway, but then some things that I figured Like, hey, I have this in my closet. I've only worn it maybe once or twice. I'm not gonna wear it again. So gave it to him. Not that I wouldn't wear it again because I think I'm bougie and I don't wear clothes more than twice. No, not at all. But it's definitely stuff that has been sitting there that I haven't worn in a while and I probably wouldn't wear. So gave it to him. Gave him some more of the essentials. Gave tons of socks. Now, anybody who knows me know how I feel about socks. I don't know why, but I gave him socks and I drive back out there um, to give him the things that I had collected for him. And he's still in the middle of the street. And when I pull up to him, I was like, James, meet me in the middle by the table. And he was like, okay. So I give him the stuff out of the car. And he was like, I didn't think you would come back. I did not think you would come back. I was like, yeah, of course I would come back. Like, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to provide something to you and not deliver it to you. He was like, there really is still nice people in the world. Like, not all hope is lost in the world. I was like, well, I just hope to be one of those people who remind you to have faith in humanity and to remind you of how good God is, no matter your situation. And we sit down and we talk again for a little while. Um, and to my surprise, he began to um, kind of pour into me a little bit and was saying, you know, you're a great guy, Kevin. Like, there's not too many nice people left in the world, and you're a great guy. Um, you get to go back to your students tomorrow and tell them how you helped a homeless man out. You also get to remember, stuff like this, and think about how good of a person that you are. He was like, your students are lucky to have a person like you in their lives. And at the moment, I didn't really think much of it. I just wanted to make sure he was encouraged. Um, but as I had, the drive back home thinking about what he said, this week has been, and it's only Wednesday, but this week has been very, I had a couple good days, few good days. Well, Monday, Tuesday was a good day. I know Monday was a good day. Tuesday I was really, really, kind of out of it a little. In regards, well, more so of the fact that I was struggling with some things. Feeling like I'm disposable, feeling like people who I give my all to don't really appreciate it. Feeling like I don't get the support that I need in certain areas to be as successful as I should be in those areas. Feeling that some people only use me for what they need me for, and then after that, I'm disposable, with no regards to how that makes me feel. So, for James to say that to me tonight kind of reassured me that the same way he felt, like not all hope is lost in humanity, I feel the same way. Like, I'm kind of assured that I'm doing the right thing no matter what I'm receiving. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I began to talk to James about God. He began to talk to me about how he has a extreme amount of faith in God. I was like, and that faith is what you hold on to. He was like, yes, sir. So we continued to talk, and I asked for permission to pray with him, and we prayed. And he stood up and looked at me with this big smile, and I was like, James, I don't know if I'll ever see you again, but I thank you for allowing me to share this space with you. It was like, Kevin, I thank you for just wanting to talk to me. He was like, thank you for your kind gestures. Thank you for providing me with food. Thank you for giving me clothes. I didn't have anything, and now I have some things to choose from. I have some things to keep me warm. Thank you, Kevin. But that part, well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me, kind of hit me a little hard, because I told him, I said, you're a human, and I don't care what your circumstances are. You're a human being, and every human being deserves someone to care about them. Too often people think because you're homeless that you don't deserve to be treated as a person. Because you're homeless, you're automatically homeless because something you did or something was bad, and you're homeless, and they associate homelessness with being a drug addict, and that's not necessarily true. There are people who are homeless because they are unfortunate you know? And at any given time, like I said to him, I could be you tomorrow, James. Like, I'm not above or beneath anything happening to me, you know? Um, so when he smiled and said that to me, I kind of, in my mind, I was, thank you, God. Thank you. Because James needed that moment, but so did I. And I was glad that God placed me in a position to actually provide him with the things that he needed, and, you know, an opportunity for me to humble myself the more. So when I left him, I said to him again, I don't know if I'll ever see you again, but I want you to remember that God is going to provide. And it may not look or feel how you're used to, but just hang in there, remain humble, remain safe, be careful, be cautious, stay warm. You know, all the things you say to someone like that. But because of James, I remember the smile tonight, and I wanted to come here and share this with y'all. Um, Take the time out to care and love on somebody, care about somebody. No matter what they look like, no matter what their situations are, they deserve it. Um, and I hope you guys find your James. I hope you have a moment to identify what your James is. Um, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been able to have that experience tonight. I needed it, and I guess God knew that. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to come here and share that with y'all. Stay blessed. Be very, very appreciative of where you are and what you have, because at any given moment, it can be taken away from you. And when you're left with nothing, is your faith strong enough to keep you? And I believe that's where James is. I think his faith was strong enough to keep him. Um, he's far from where he wants to be, but he's nowhere close to where he could be. He still has life. So, um, yeah, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.